For museum scenes, you'll need to know about the program mode. You'll need to turn the flash off. You'll need to set the ISO, set the white balance, and maybe even set the manual focus. Let's get started with the program mode. Turn your mode dial to P. This stands for program, and this will give you access to all the features you need. In a museum, you can't use the flash, so you want to make sure that the flash is turned off. Press the flash icon or the right navigation button right here, and use your control dial or the right and left navigation buttons to move the highlighted field to flash off. Press set or give it a second to go away. Now you need to set the ISO. To set the ISO, just turn the ISO dial right here. This will probably be a little bit high because there isn't a whole lot of light in museums. Let's start with 400. Now let's go ahead and set the white balance. Go ahead and press the function button right here in the center to access the function menu. The white balance is at the top, and down here are your white balance options. In museums, more often than not, the lighting source used is tungsten, so I would set my white balance to tungsten. I can use the right or left navigation buttons or the control dial to move over to tungsten. You'll want to make sure that the color you see on the LCD screen is pretty close to accurate. Go ahead and press the function button again to escape the function menu. Now I have my white balance properly set. My ISO is set, and I'll check that in a second. My flash is turned off, and I'm ready to go. Let's check if the ISO is properly set. Go ahead and press your shutter button halfway, and you'll see down here is the shutter speed that's selected. If this is faster than about 1/30th of a second, you should be fine for hand-holding this shot. Because museums sometimes have very low lighting, the shutter speed in your situation may be less than 1/30th of a second with an ISO of 400, which means you'll have to increase the ISO some more. Once the ISO is properly set, you can go ahead and take your picture. Just like with any other picture, place your focusing square over the subject, press the shutter button halfway. The focusing square will turn green, which indicates the autofocus has locked focus. Then you can recompose the image, maintaining the shutter button pressed halfway, and then press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the picture. Now if the autofocus does not work and you don't get a green square, but instead you get a yellow square, it means you'll have to use the manual focus. Digital cameras have a very hard time focusing in low light. To use the manual focus, it's very simple. Go ahead and press the MF icon or the up navigation button right here, and you'll get the manual focus gauge. What this is the distance between the camera and the subject. Right now mine is set to meters and centimeters. What I would do is turn my control dial to set this gauge. I would set it to about 2 meters or 5 feet if you have this in feet and inches, and then position myself about 5 feet or 2 meters from the subject. Now I can again go ahead and press the shutter button halfway. Once I have the picture properly composed, I can go ahead and press the shutter button the rest of the way to take the shot.